The new F1 technical rules have given teams a clean slate at racing, and after the second race of the season, it still seems Mercedes have not found their footing to contend for the title. What is the biggest problem that Mercedes is facing? If you want to know the answer, watch the video until the end. Mercedes first realized in the Bahrain test that it was significantly off pace, suffering more porpoising than most rivals. Wolff admitted that his team had potentially underestimated its difficulties because it was assuming it would take a big step forward. So far, the team has not been able to deal with the issues from its new car, and until they do, they might as well never be ready to challenge for the title. Coming from a rather surprising first race of the season, Hamilton in the second Grand Prix of the year in Jeddah came in position 10th, where Russell claimed 5th. It was clear that the drivers struggled to balance their rocking vehicle, and that is one of the team's major problems. Coming from testing to actions on race Sundays, Mercedes couldn't find a solution to the porpoising problem its 2022 Formula One car is struggling with after carrying out several experiments. After Lewis Hamilton and George Russell finished 3rd and 4th in the season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix, Mercedes technical chief James Allison said the team hoped to get on top of the aerodynamic issues it is facing within 2 or 3 races. Mercedes have tried different setups and rear wing configurations on both W13 cars in a bid to improve the situation, but the experiments did not fully address the problem. The director said, "We tried a few more experiments to understand the bouncing issue here, some which made it worse, some which helped, but we don't yet have a solution to make the problem go away. We still have a bit of work to do before we'll be troubling Red Bull or Ferrari." The porpoising problem occurs when the new cars reach maximum speeds and aerodynamic loads as they are sucked closer to the ground. However, if the floor gets too down for the airflow, the underfloor aero breaks down and much of the downforce is lost. This phenomenon releases the car back up so the ride height increases again and allows the cycle to repeat very fast. That's the reason you see the Mercedes bouncing up and down like a lowrider. In addition to porpoising, the W13 has a terrible rear end through all the slow and medium speed corners. As a result, the rear tires are getting hotter, which means more significant degradation. George Russell said it's affecting the tires quite a lot because every braking zone you are bouncing into the corner and the rears are just skipping under braking because the car is so unsettled. We know if we unlock the performance, it's going to benefit everyone. It will help the tires, it's going to help the brakes. We're going to find more grip from it. It appears this problem could take a matter of weeks before being solved, rather than an overnight transformation. Team manager Toto Wolff said that the Bahrain Grand Prix was more of a test for the Silver Arrows to understand exactly where the gaps lie to the top teams, Ferrari and Red Bull. He said, "More than really bringing car parts, it's an understanding of how we can unleash the performance that we believe to be in the car, or what we hope to be in the car, before throwing bits at it in terms of performance." Russell noted that a variety of parameters contribute to the porpoising that has affected Mercedes since testing, making it that much harder to resolve. He said, "There's so many factors at play between the mechanical stiffness of the car and then the stiffness of the floors, the design of the floors, and tire pressures. Engine mode as well. The faster you go, the worse it gets, so it makes it harder for qualifying because we turn the engines up, maximum power, go quicker down the straight, which causes more downforce and causes more porpoising. So we also need to preempt this issue. And also in the race when you have the DRS closed, you have more downforce than you do with the DRS open. And that's another factor we need to consider. We're still learning, and that's why we're far from optimal. But that's why I said if we solve the porpoising, that would cure 99% of our issues." While it is difficult to say how long it will take the team to get on with the problem, the team's current leading driver has mentioned that despite other issues, the team first needs to solve porpoising. He said, "We are going to start trying to develop the car around the issues, but we need to solve the underlying problem, which is the porpoising. All of these cars perform best at low ride height, and we just can't get to anywhere close to where our rivals are running. Timeline, to be honest, really, we have no idea. We've definitely got information. We're continuing to learn. At the moment, we're making baby steps, so we need to make some leaps and bounds, and we're struggling to find that silver bullet to resolve our issues. I've got no doubt when we do that, we will find a chunk of lap time, but as said before, it's easier said than done. Russell said his car felt good, but noted that the final result pointed out that he was only a second a lap off the pace of the race leaders. He said the car felt good, in all honesty, said Russell when asked by motorsport.com about achieving his stated goal. I think we maximize the balance. We just know what we're lacking, and that's downforce ultimately. Pushing flat out, I was really pleased with how the performance was from my personal side. Really well managed, and I did my best to keep up with the Red Bulls, especially after the restart. I did everything to stay within the DRS zone. Lewis Hamilton has picked out a need for more grip and more power as areas of improvement for Mercedes after the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. An off-season overhaul of aerodynamic regulations has proved to be to Mercedes' detriment, with porpoising a persistent issue and Hamilton and Russell evidently short of pure pace down the straights. Hamilton thinks that parts of the car's performance were better in Saudi Arabia, but admits that there is a big gap to be closed. The new season rules have automatically made cars heavier than ever, and Formula One has a minimum requirement of 798 kilograms for cars and drivers. Despite this, Mercedes is trying to reduce their car's weight, with their team boss, Toto Wolff, admitting that their W13 is one of the most overweight cars on the grid. Wolff stated that the Mercedes is the most overweight on the grid and will work hard to continue the diet throughout the season. He continued, "Where we stand is that, if I make a best case, then probably Red Bull and ourselves are, from the top 10 cars, the most overweight. Then there are some who are underweight or just above it. That's quite a lap time advantage or disadvantage, but we can be clever about it. Some have taken the decision to go live and are benefiting from that at the moment. I think there's, for us, definitely room to improve and to chip away some of the bits that we have on the cars that are too heavy. If the Silver Arrows can find a quick solution to their car problems, they could find their feet in the title race later in the season. Do you think Mercedes will fix their car problems before the next race? Let us know in the comments down below. Like and share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications to stay connected to the channel.